welcome, folks, back to In the Spirit of Things. It's always going to be interesting. We're going to get some direction of flow again. We're going to do some deep digging. The shows are multifaceted. We don't stay on one topic way too long, but we're just trying to get continuity of flow in everybody's minds. And matter of fact, tonight we'll be covering a little bit more on slavery by consent, because, folks, it's really a huge topic. So it doesn't get put to bed in 5 seconds. So we will maybe get a little redundant, but we want you to get the memo, because we consent on multiple levels, on so many different ways, as well as in relationships and everything else. So we'll be able to draw a parallel in our minds to understand how the conditioning has been extremely effective. Anyways, we're also going to cover a little bit about Brother Johnny's updates in Canada. Like I said, I brought my flashlight again, John, because, I just like to shine just a little bit. And, folks, if you haven't seen Brother Johnny's case dismissed as living beneficiary over at privatist.me, it's posted. For all those who get our emails, for all those who are signed into the free portals, they would get the emails and they would be able to see it on a regular basis, or as well as the new privatist.me debt termination video that covers 12 minutes of a condensed overview on the pretty much scam, fraud, whatever you want to call it, on third-party debt collectors. And it really is an effective modality, folks. It's just tricks for kids hours, and you can remove the chains that bind on a whole different level with an effective modality of removing a presumption. That's all it is, folks, just removing a presumption. But anyways, enough on that. We'll banter on that later. We're also going to cover, we're talking a little bit about dropping the chains that bind you. Folks, I think most of us have been holding up the chains for a long time. And we like to, I dropped mine, gave them over. The weight got a little too heavy, and Peter's not carrying the chains. He's just carrying his body. That's good enough for him. Anyways, based on that, we're going to move forward. I got Brother Johnny, are you in the loop?
I am here, Peter. How are you making out tonight?
Sister Michelle, are you in the loop?
I'm here, all in.
Okay, very good. Okay, we have a full house. It's a full house to me, folks. Speaking of house, go over to privatist.me and you can go enjoy the buffet over there. It's really good. Anyways, we're going to move forward. Brother Johnny, how's things going on that end of the spectrum with our Canadian counterparts showing you the love and you standing fast in the breach as a good living beneficiary, live flesh and blood man, that they really don't want us to exercise that option.
Exactly. Well, I'm staying strong, Peter. We had another visit today with the children and stuff like that. It's like I say, always bittersweet. But we're staying strong. We're still, going at this through the peaceful means, and we've sent out some rather informative and very poignant information to the Minister of Defense now, letting him know of our situation and the crimes that are being done against us as the living beneficiary. So that has arrived in Ottawa as of today, and we're hoping they'll have that tomorrow in their hands. So this should be a very interesting chapter to see where this goes from there. And if they, decide to ignore that as well, then we're going to have to go in and file habeas corpus through the courts civilly. And it seems like the education is so lax around here. They don't really seem to know the deep water they're getting themselves into. And, still trying to get me to contract and come in and talk with them and all this kind of stuff, to sign papers and stuff. And, we refuse to do that. We're going to stay who we are, and we're going to show them that they are the ones who are wrong, and they are the ones who had no right to interfere with our private matters and our private life.
Yeah. So. Well, like I said, we've been covering this.
John, could you... Sorry, Peter. I was just asking, John, could you explain for those listeners who might not know habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus, now, there's only, the real true crimes in this world are to harm someone, to steal someone's stuff, or to wreck someone's stuff. I have not been charged with any of this stuff whatsoever. I've been charged with nothing. But they have stolen our children, our flesh and blood living heirs, from our home with, perjured affidavits and misunderstanding of education like we have. We understand our foods, we understand what's in them and stuff like that, but we tend to stick out and get judged for this kind of stuff, and we don't conform to the norms, I guess you could say. So what they've done is they've harmed me. They've stolen my children. They're injuring my children. They're poisoning them. They've stolen them from their mother, their father, who loves them more than anything. So they've done actual harm. So this goes back into common law now, complete common law, and as soon as we file habeas corpus, then it's going to be an immediate hearing or trial. It begins right away because habeas corpus charge is very, very serious, and so it is. We are, bringing charges, though. They've almost left us no choice. We've done everything to try to stay in peace, to educate these people. We've joined the Divine Province to stay at peace, to educate people, to, even if they've crossed us and stuff like that, we try our hardest to, let them know their wrongs and let them get out of it, We just wanted our children back. We wanted to go back to peace, and so they continue. So that's where we're at right now in our process and stuff like that. So we're just in the next couple steps of getting quite serious, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it comes down to slavery by consent. See, folks, this is what I got to explain. When you get compliant, willy-nilly slaves that by the tens of thousands that bend over and do the commerce game and really take it, because folks, they don't ever want us to, like I say, they don't want us to think outside the box. They don't want us to address real issues of the day. It's a control mechanism, and if you're not really getting it, I mean, we cover this on multiple shows. It's sort of like when I try to educate my brothers on the IRS side of the house, showing that they're just a private whore corporation. Matter of fact, go see the documents on my education page. Go take a look at what documents filed into Delaware, 1933, showing that the IRS is truly a private corporation, just like the CRA's crap in Canada, just like Australia's crap in Australia, just like the UK crap. All these countries, we've all bent over for the big kielbasa. And with folks, this is they condition you to go along to get along, because this is the way we do it. It's like, folks, we don't question it. Just be a good compliant slave and go along. And, see, folks, I can't subscribe to that because, who died and left you king to charge me a carbon tax and all this other bullshit so that you can fund the sorry-ass IMF fund and all this other... I guess I'm going to go on a rant. I just found out. Hey, guess what, guys? I'm going on a rant. But, see, this is what I'm saying. I would educate my brothers and sisters for over the last 25 years, and they just said, why don't you just go along to get along? You see, because I actually read crap, and it says right here, W-2s, W-4s, 1099s. They're not income tax forms. Hell, they're tax class 5 estate and gift tax forms. So we're missing something here, folks. They're telling me something, and I'm putting two and two together. I said, well, so how did I get traversed over into a franchisee position, slave on the plantation? I must have done something wrong. I must have given over via consent. I must have taken some sort of deleterious action. The problem is, the other side of the fence, they don't tell you by giving over, i.e. voluntary consent, that you're actually, through that volunteerism, that you've given over and you didn't want it. They consider everything abandoned property. The whole system is just one beautiful, sign your shit over to us. Sign, folks. That's called sinning. It's consenting. You're giving over via consent. So I guess we got some heavy lifting to do on consent tonight. I'm getting excited.
I remember. You remember Kata Gaia said one time. He was like, the signature is like the heartbeat, giving that paper life. If you think of a heartbeat monitor, how it's going up, down, up, down. Well, that's the same thing you're doing on that flat line. When you put your signature, you're giving that paper your life force.
Yep.
And activating it. You know what I mean? I thought that was very poignant how he put that. Yes, how we're giving away our power. our energy is actually in our signature.
Right. Hey, John. Over the last 90 days since I've known you, do you sign shit anymore? Excuse me, folks.
No.
I didn't mean to.
You're on a rant, Peter.
And if I do sign anything, it's always in gold and it's always boxed. Removed with my border around my nation, my I don't even want to call it name anymore.
No, well, yeah, because you're not signing anymore. You're sealing. Hey, folks, there's a big difference. It's sort of like
you're symbolically showing your power. You are, and the symbols in the esoteric, it's the sigils that, you know how they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, guess what? A symbol is worth trillions of pictures. So that very symbol of yours, that you call it, how do you what is the verb you use, John? You don't sign things. What do you
like I said, it's seal now. Is you use your seal. I do not use a surname anymore. I don't use a last name at all anymore. That is a surname. That is your name of arms kind of thing. I use my Christian name, my given name. And I box that name so that it is basically like putting your border up around your nation.
Exactly. You're in dominion of your energies. You are in dominion of your power, and this happens on all levels. It is so absolutely mundane that it is very difficult for people to grasp that. But in the very action of you sealing your documents in that way, you have claimed your dominion of your energies. You're literally drawing the line.
Yep.
You have drawn the line, and it is the action of drawing the line that gathers in all your power. You're in charge.
Hey, well, it's sort of like what we're doing over at, Privatist.me. Michael and I are teaching people, a live man has seals. He has stamps. We use technologies because the dead entity doesn't have any of these things that separate the dead from the living. See, so they have coats of arms. Michael has created heraldry.com, which is over at the site, and we create seals for people because, we got the white flag of peace on the left, and we have the your family seal or crest or whatever on the right. So that separates it and shows true identity instead of a dead entity. It's huge, folks. These are the little things that we actually touch base on, and we're getting the memo, and we're trying to give it out. So, anyways, we're having a lot of fun over at Privatist.me, folks. For those who haven't come and played in the sandbox, it's a learning experience, and it's a simple exponential learning curve. Matter of fact, I'm going into create, which I already have today, a capacity so everybody can follow the bouncing ball. So I'm going to give not so much homework, but direction of flow. Like this is what I find that everybody just needs a little bit of direction. So, Michael and I are posting for all the people that are signed up on Privatist.me, whether you're a full member or just checking out and getting the rose-colored glasses off your eyes, watching the videos like Changes on the Horizon, you're going to actually have some direction of flow, okay? I said, Michael, got to do some more heavy lifting because everybody needs just a little bit more direction of flow. So I've gone into creation mode one more time so I can help you get your mind right, because this is what it comes down to, folks, because if you don't pull off the rose-colored glasses, it's going to be a long, nasty-ass ride, and there's going to be a lot of speed bumps along the way. So I'm going to help you reduce those. That's the point. So I can give direction of flow. That's where I live, so that's what I'm doing. So, but this is what we're learning, folks. Here we're talking about seals, stamps, all this other stuff that they don't want you opening your eyes to what we're talking about. That's exactly why I talk about it, just like the medical, big pharma, FDA, all the sham scam. I was just talking to a young lady today. I went out of my way to talk to her. My wife told me about it. Basically said,
sorry, Peter. Before we get into the medical story, I just want to highlight it's heraldry.me. The site. It's not .com. It's .me. HERALDRY.me, and that's Michael's site, and he does coats of arms and seals and more.
Yep. And it's posted right on the cover page at Privatist anyway, so they could find it pretty easy. Anyways, I want to get back to the consent stuff again because this lady I was talking to, she had given over consent, but she finally got her mind right for a second and said, no more. So I got to talk to her today. I said, have you ever been to my site? So I wrote it down. And so hopefully she's going to get some direction of flow. It's sort of like my brother's Gregg's sister up in Chicago when they sent her home to die for the lie because they poisoned her, killed all the good cells with the bad cells. Folks, this cancer scam is the most massive crock of crap. There are so many effective modalities that have been available to us for hundreds of years, but they don't want us talking about it because, you know what, they can't patent it and make you a hypothecation event if you know about this. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So go over to the site, go to my cancer page. It's free downloads. Downloads are us, folks. Help yourself. It's a freebie. It's all good because, you know what, they don't give a crap about you. They don't give a crap about you. You might think you do in the back of your mind. You've been fed the shill, the swill, Project Pink, all this other crap. You know, I really get pissed off. I know I'm sounding pissed off, but I'm supposed to because I can't believe that the millions of my brothers and sisters are dying for a proverbial lie, for a hypothecation event because you're just a proverbial money mark. It makes me nuts. Anyways, if you really want to find out the truth.
I was going to say, it's not even just that, Pete. Like, you know what I mean? Like, myself, you know, I'm just a guy out in the middle of the country, and I know AIDS is a scam. I know how to cure AIDS. You know, hepatitis A, B, and C, that's all easily cured. Herpes, all that stuff.
It's called food-grade hydrogen peroxide, 35% food-grade hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, I got the 1-minute cure over on my site. Go read it, folks. Guess what? You'll find out something. You'll find out you've been lied to for a long time.
Yeah.
Pathogens can't live in an oxygen-rich environment. But see, you know, well, gee, I didn't go to medical school for 8 years. I mean, how could I know this stuff? You know, I mean, you know what, folks? Because you know what? I am my doctor. I don't need a damn doctor. Yeah, if I break a leg, I'll go see a orthopod. He can set it. He better do it right because Peter will get excited. But that's, anyways, yeah, life or death, yeah. I got a carotid artery bleed. Yeah, I even know how to put the damn brakes on my own bleeders. It's all good. But
well, that's the thing, AP. It's not like we're against the medical community. Like, we need surgeons, we need good doctors, the problem is the pharmaceuticals have invaded the medical community and made it all about the money now. You know what I mean? And they're training doctors basically to be drug dealers instead of practitioners of medicine to actually help and cure instead of just getting rid of symptoms. That's the mentality right now. We're driving around these cars with the oil lights on and we're just punching them out with the screwdriver instead of fixing anything. You know, put some oil in the car and fix the problem. And this seems to be the mentality and what has taken over our society, and this is why, you know.
Yeah, it's like the crap, folks. You got more medical commercials on, and they'll tell you on the TV, may cause this, and this. Well, folks, guess what? That removes the liability because you give over consent to take it, and when you do, when you go to the freaking boneyard because you had an adverse reaction, too bad, so sad, dumbass decided to give over consent.
And don't you love how they call them side effects? It's actually the effects, not side effects. It's the effects of the poison that you're putting in your body. Nothing to do with side effects, you know. Like, it's just the little slips of tongues that they put in there to play with your mind and stuff like this, you know. And just brutal. Yeah.
It's just liability protection because you give over. They want you to sign everything, and when you sign over, guess what? There's some more consent. Hey, folks, I don't consent to crap anymore. You know, I'm standing in the breach, kiss my rosy red butt. You want a signature? Too bad, so sad. I'll give you a blood red thumb seal, but I'll box that sucker and say, hey, you have no consent. I don't give consent. They want to share my information. I don't give consent. I don't give them crap. I give them crap, but I don't give them crap, you know. Anyways, folks, you know what? This is what happens when you start waking up. You actually stand on the other side and say, there's my line in the sand. And that's what we talked about on Saturday. Folks, you got to draw a line in the sand because when are you going to draw the line? When they're putting a chip in your butt? I mean, that's, you know what? Guess what? It might be a little too late after the fact. Anyways,
they're already doing it to you, all your credit cards and all your bank cards now. I just got one of these in the mail, too. It was a chip card, and they wanted me to activate it. And I told them, you can keep it. I'll just come in and deal with you guys directly now. You know, like people don't understand. You know, these things, they do track everything you do, just like a rat in the maze, and they know exactly what you're doing. You know, people say, well, if you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't have to worry about it.
Oh, yeah, the nothing to hide analogy.
You've heard that one,
let's talk about the nothing to hide bull crap. Yeah, like when I go down to the court and I start asking questions. Yeah, you haven't got nothing to hide. They don't want to give me nothing because I'm asking for everything. See, because I know what I'm looking for, and they get really, really apprehensive. And gee, if you don't have nothing to hide, you'll be glad to share with me your oath of office, your friggin' proverbial bond from the dadgum underwriters. I want the name. I want the friggin' phone number. I want everything because I want to make sure you're not operating your full unlimited commercial liability. Because if you are, we got a different game going here today. Go figure.
Exactly.
So, anyways, I'm getting excited today. I don't know. I must have eaten some buckwheat today or something.
We're getting close to a full moon, are we?
See, that's what beer and buckwheat does for breakfast. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just kidding. But, folks, see, I get excited because I care. I get excited because I'm paying attention. This is what I'm looking to enlighten everybody else out. Folks, if you're sick and tired of the swill, if you're sick and tired of the lies, yeah, you know what? It's time to. This is a wake-up call. That's Peter's doing a wake-up call for all his brothers and sisters in the world. And if you're ready to move forward, you just go over to privates.me, sign up. Folks, the reason you have to sign up, you got to take an action to come to my world, to come to my house. Because when you take an action and come into the private, I'm no longer in the public, and nor are you. So everything I disperse for information, I don't give advice. I just give information. You take what you need and leave the rest. But you get your paradigm shift, you get your mind right, you take off the rose-colored glasses when you find out you've been lied pretty much on every proverbial level. You want a history lesson on war? You want a history lesson on every war that's been committed since the 1700s has been wars by the bankers. There's the hypothecation events as well. And, I mean, folks, you can't make this stuff up. But there's excellent history lessons over where we live. And now I'm posting it in a so-called, basically like a curriculum, follow the bouncing ball thing, that everybody's going to get the memo so that they can follow the bouncing ball. Because once you follow the bouncing ball, you can do two things. You can go into cognitive dissonance, shut your mind down, go back to sleep, and, live your life in quiet desperation. Or you can step the hell out and move forward and get free in a whole different capacity. Yes, folks, we are in transition. But, hey, we're going to teach you methodologies on, matter of fact, Michael and I are going to the deeper end of the pool, and we're going to teach alternative ways to function in a proper capacity, without being binded up. So, folks, this is the way we think. This is the way we operate. Hey, the truth is, it might be a hard pill to swallow, but, hey, a little bit of molasses, a little Celtic salt, and a little sodium bicarbonate, you're good to go. It'll neutralize, and you'll be operating in full tilt boogie all over again. Anyways.
Yeah, it's all about bringing the body back into harmony. Yeah. That's the thing. We have so many toxins and stuff like that in our society and stuff like. People don't realize, the body is perfect. It really is. It just gets so built up, and it can't get rid of the toxins fast enough. Is where we get into, buildup of toxins, and we get parts of our body shutting down, and this is why these products that you were talking about, very easy, very cheap, pennies, cost you basically nothing. But we'll give you your life back. We'll take away the aches and pains, and we'll take away the, it sometimes sucks at the beginning, because you are so full of toxins, and when that stuff starts cleaning out of you, it doesn't feel so good at first, but I'm living proof. I've done it myself, and, I'm 36, and I run around here all day, work, and I have no problem at all, no aches and pains, and, I get sick very little, and always very sharp-minded and always educating myself, and so something's definitely working,
Yeah, well, brother, I get memos. I get people sending me emails all the time. Hey, I had this issue, I had that issue, and it got resolved. I followed not what I said. Like I say, I don't give advice. I read the information. I said, why not? Tried it for pennies a dose, and now my Crohn's disease has gone away, or this has gone away, or that's it's mitigated all the negative side effects of this. People are sharing the love, and because they're finding out this whole incestuous relationship with Big Pharma, FDA, all the whores are, like I say, the aspartame game, folks, and that's the next game. They're stepping it up to the next level. It's going to go in the USA Inc. milk supply, folks. If you're not paying attention to USA Inc., first of all, I don't drink that swill. Second of all, they're shutting down all the raw dairy farmers because they have a product that's really, really good, and it's nutritional actually for the body. But no, they want everybody, milk does a body good, my ass. Hey, folks, what it does is it destroys it. Yeah, our daughters are getting breasts by the time they're 10. It's changed up the physical characteristics of most of the men. They've been desexualized, or whatever you want to call it.
Feminized.
Whatever. Anyways, Brother Peter, he don't live there. Anyways, Yeah, I'm getting warmed up. Because I see what I see, folks. It's called paying attention. Because I'm really, if I don't like what's going on, then I have the capacity and the ability to do something about it. You see, I don't have paralysis of analysis. I've analyzed crap for 25 years, but I moved on it. See, that's what happens when you get your mind right, you get your education. But, folks, you don't have to go through 25 years. I've already done the heavy lifting. I've already done the hard part. You don't have to listen. You don't have to look at the Code of Federal Regulations, statutes at large, implemented regulations. No, you don't have to do any of that heavy lifting. I've already done it for you. So come over to my side of the house, though. See, I do have a house where I live, and you can come in and you can come play in my house. And when you come there, you're going to get a different memo. You're going to get the truth straight up, and I've talked about this multiple times with both barrels. If you're ready. If you're not ready, yes, cognitive dissonance does exist. If you don't know what that means, look it up. It's almost like I say, paralysis of analysis. Everybody's saying if, what if. It's the fear factor. Folks, they've done an excellent job of neutralizing our minds to just shut down from fear. Folks, I have no fear. You know what? I'm done. What am I? I'm not afraid of my own shadow. I'm not afraid of anything. And I'm not warring with anybody. I'm telling you, maybe I sound a little aggressive. I sound a little angry. I'm mad a little bit because everybody's falling asleep. And the effective dumbing down is extremely effective upon us. Well, it doesn't have to be. You know what? You have a choice. Everything in life requires consent. And we're going to come back to consent every time. Because by doing absolutely nothing, it's more of the same, guaranteed. You'll never get out of hell. It's going to be a hell on earth. Yeah, you're living in your own hell, but it's by choice, freedom of choice. They're letting you make all the choices. So you have, remember we talked about the line in the sand last week. We can draw the line anywhere we want. Folks, when my crap quotient got up to a certain point, I said I'm not eating any more crab burgers with onions, no more. And I don't have to. And there's not a damn thing anybody can do to force me to do otherwise. So, because I made a choice, I drew a line in the sand, they leave me alone. But, like I say, I'm going to peace. I'm not going to war because I see a lot of brothers and sisters like to go to war. They want to go, I'm going to sue this, I'm going to sue that. You know what, folks? Wrong paradigm, wrong mindset. That's not where I live at all, not in any way, shape, or form. So if you think that Peter's coming across with his 19-inch guns and he just wants to get them going a-blazing, not at all. But I do know how to protect my castle, and I do know now not to give over consent. That's the huge difference. So freedom with responsibility comes with knowledge. Knowledge is power, and that's what Michael and I teach over at Privatus. And really, folks, if we didn't give a crap, we'd have just gone to sleep and let you all fend for yourselves. You know what? But you know what? I got such a big heart. I'm not laying down. I have two beautiful spirits I call my own. They're my daughters, and I do this for them. And if y'all got kids, if you laying down and you're telling them to go along, get along the same swill that you've been fed by your parents, wrong paradigm, because it's going to be the insane train for them, and you're not going to be around to defend their castle, and they'll be incompetent to defend their own. So, folks, it is a paradigm shift, and welcome to it. Anyways, Michelle, you can banter for me because Peter already done pissing everybody's cornflakes already. Man.
I don't know, Peter. I think the conversation that we had just before the show where I was ranting may have had an effect on you.
Hey, folks, it's just male menopause. Don't sweat the small stuff.
I wanna just shift a little bit because you were discussing when you don't make a choice, that is still a choice, and in law, silence is acquiescence. So I want to just read this quote from Robert Frost. The strongest and most effective force in guaranteeing the long-term maintenance of power is not violence in all the forms deployed by the dominant to control the dominated, but consent in all the forms in which the dominated acquiesce in their own domination.
Yeah, look at the word he used, forms. And, folks, they got you filling out forms till your butt falls off in triplicate. That you are giving over on every level. I don't sign nothing no more. If they want a signature, too bad, so sad. Go get it from somebody who gives a crap. They don't get it from me. You want a seal? You want me to box that signature and I'll remove it from the damn page? I can do that too. You want forced compliance to make a valid contract? Folks, I've been on the receiving end of that deal. Yeah, see, folks, that's what it's really come down to. Louisiana. I'm going to give Louisiana another shout out. It's beautiful that they Deputy Donuts and
Because I
brothers.
know the story, so.
Peter, we want you to sign this document. We want you to give over your signature. And I said, hey, brother, that requires consent. He goes, you're not giving over to anything. We just need you. I said, you don't need crap, bro. Take your ticket, put it where the sun don't shine, because no, I don't think so. Not today. Anyways, he didn't like that non-compliance, they call it. Forced compliance is not a valid contract make, but that's exactly what they did when they put their hands on their guns, unsnapped their crap, and said, Peter, you're going to sign this. So, folks, you know what? I kowtowed. I did put under duress, but it's pretty pathetic when they can put their hands on guns and basically make innuendo. Folks, it's not voluntary consent when they're putting their hands on guns and they sort of like ready to point them at you to sign something. I don't see how that's voluntary compliance. That's not consent. Anyways,
it's not freedom if my two choices are molestation or being irradiated at an airport.
Right.
That is not freedom.
Yeah, not only that, those rape scanners, folks, what they do is they actually collect all your biometric data as well as compromise your system, your genetic DNA code, because it's microwaving you. Anyways, whatever. Hey, I haven't been in an airport since 1998, so I don't really give a crap. I don't fly. Have feet, will travel. I'll take a car. Anyways, I don't subscribe. So I just don't do it. But I know there's some people. Well, I gotta fly. I gotta go do business and do this and whatever.
Right.
Life's all about choices, folks. It really is.
Yeah, and
it's all about choices.
It's this erosion. It's this sort of small baby steps. These erosions of our fundamental freedoms that I see as an opportunity for people to realize what's going on. The darkness, the evil, if you want to call it evil, the darkness. I see it as an opportunity for us to realize our power in transmuting it, because the only way that anything changes, the only way that I can affect a change is by, first of all, facing my fear. Because the darkness elicits my fear, but when I face my fear and I go through that fear, then I am transmuting it. And in transmuting it, it's change. I have affected the change. I have drawn back my power, and the darkness was ultimately there to make me realize that I have the power to change things.
Yeah, and let's take a look at Brother Johnny.
And I think that's...
Yeah.
I was going to say it, and I think that's something that people are not aware of. I think the most insidious way to control a people is to make them believe they have no power.
Yeah.
And look at our society. Look at how we've allowed things to become. We're in a state of arrested development of, we mentioned it on last show, of infantilization, and just arrested behavior and arrested development in every sense of the word. And these are the things that are celebrated and glorified in the media. Celebrities acting badly, the worst. And this is brought to our attention. Our awareness is guided so that we are made to see the lowest, the basest forms of behavior that we are capable of.
Oh yeah,
and why?
Well,
why? Because in the etheric, when I witness this, I have given my consent, unless I have an awareness of what is going on.
Well,
when I have an awareness of what's going on, then I realize I have a choice. Go ahead, Peter.
Well, yeah, even in my own household, there's this goofy show called Snooki. She's Jersey, and my children were watching this garbage, and I actually walked in and I said, Okay, we're gonna have a talk. Daddy. Okay, you see that behavior? And I told my children. I said this. I said, hey, I'm not the shy, quiet type. Hard to believe, huh? Anyways, I told my children straight up. I said, okay, you see that behavior right there, girls? If I ever see you doing that, it's not gonna be a good day at Daddy's house, because I said that's bad acts. Those are bad acts. That's bad behavior. That's immature. That's infantile. That's irresponsible. And they have poor impulse control, don't know how to control their actions, and they think this is valid behavior. Folks, as I told my children, I said, that's not valid behavior. That's a good, bad example. That's all it is. And if my children, if I got attitude like those girls give on TV, you give it to me, yeah, it would be, anyways, I've never had to whoop up on them, but it's all good. They got Daddy's memo, and they got the picture. But I was trying to say, if you think that's valid behavior and that's responsible behavior, you couldn't be more dead wrong. My children are well aware. They're intelligent. But at the same time, they're being taught how to just be reactionary, not to have proper behavioral patterns, basically poor impulse control, and it's all good to just, throw up on everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking emotionally. That's immature personality disorder from where I live, and that's poor impulse control. And, folks, it doesn't work. What you're going to do is you're going to yield a negative result in your life because you don't have your mind right. See, that's just not the way it's supposed to be. See, freedom with responsibility comes with maturity, paying attention, treating people the way you want to be treated, not throwing up on them. So, show a little love to your brothers and sisters. See, that's what it's all about. See, when I get the love bug and I get to show the love bug, it comes back tenfold because it's I treat people the way I want to be treated, and I get treated the same way back. If you throw up on me, that's fine. You can throw up on me. You'll throw up on me once. I promise you'll never throw up on me again. And that's, I use this analogy, throwing up. It's a bad behavior. See, because nobody deserves to get treated like crap. And I don't care on what level, and I don't care by what bad actor from some scum-sucking bottom-feeding agency decides that they think their behavior, like pulling guns on somebody to sign a ticket, is valid behavior. It's not. Never is. Anyways, folks, this is where it comes down to. So I've learned how not to consent. I've learned how not to give over. I've learned how to stand in the breach. I've learned how to stand up as a man, because a man, I'm the king of my own castle, and I handle my own business. If you have business with me, you better bring your freaking bond in hand and go get your daddy, because I want to talk to your freaking daddy. That's i.e. your supervisor. Folks, let me share with you. I'm going to share with you some stuff. I've gone into this system, and I've played hardball. And believe me, they don't like it when Peter comes in. I went to get a notary stamp done here in the county, and this lady behind the counter, the clerk, thought somebody died and left her God. I got her mind right in about 15 seconds, really, really quick. Because I went in with the love, but at the same time, you weren't the king. Nobody died and left you king. I needed a verification of a notary on account that her oath of office was in valid standing. So I'm asking for a copy of it, and I know it's kept at the county records. And this queen behind the desk thought I was a slave. I got her mind right real quick. I said, I'll need a copy of this, and I showed her the name of the notary. Go ahead and pull it up. I know you have it in your system of records. She looked at me and said, blah, 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 blah. She started barking at me. I said, wrong answer. I said, go get your boss. Go get your boss right now. You are here. I accepted her oath of office. I said, now go get your boss. Within not but a millisecond, she got her mind right. She went and pulled the card out of the file, what I was looking for, made my copies, and everybody got their mind right real quick. See, folks, because the king doesn't take crap. You see what I'm saying? See, that's the problem. Yeah, the willy-nilly slaves, that's the way they treat you, because you give over consent. You don't stand in the breach. Like I say, I know how to ask for stuff, and I know how to ask for it in a nice way. I don't war with them. I just say, go get your mommy or go get your daddy. When I say that, I'm talking about their boss, because somebody's going to have some. It's going to be a Lucy moment. Lucy, somebody got some explaining to do. That's what it's going to be. And they don't want me to go to their daddy, because I'm going to beat the brakes off of daddy too, because if he wants to get stupid, I'll go above his head. I have no problems with dealing with bad actors, folks. I know how to put them in a box, and I'm not warring. But you're not going to treat me like a bag of crap. I'm not a slave. You can treat your slaves like that, but you don't treat me. See, folks, we teach people how to teach us on how much shit we'll take.
How to treat us.
I did another S-bomb. Sorry, folks, I can't help myself. I'm excited because we've all laid down and gone to sleep. Apathy is the word of the day. Apathy and paralysis of analysis. So we've learned how not to stand in the breach for ourselves. Now, Brother Johnny, on the other hand, he's an anomaly. I'm an anomaly. Yeah, you know what? When you start thinking outside the box, folks, you're an anomaly. And I don't give a crap. I love being an anomaly because I am a proverbial square peg in the round hole. Have been pretty much most of my life. Matter of fact, if you look at my fiction name, it spells peg. So, yeah, it's ironic. Michelle brought it up to me the other day. I knew it always spelled peg, but I just really never gave it much stock. But I've always been saying I've always been the square peg in the round hole, so call it irony for lack of a better term. Anyways, folks, we love you here. See, we're going to show you the love. We're going to show you the truth, and we're going to get you to the other side if you want to get to the other side. If you like what you're dealing with, if you want more of the same, you have the free will. Free will, folks. You have free will and choice to stand back and take the big Kraft sandwich and eat it with maybe without onions. You don't have to. Everybody has a choice. So this is what they don't want us doing. This is why they don't like me sharing my love. Well, I'm going to share my love until everybody's butts falls off because this is where I live. Because, see, folks, the other option, it's not a viable option. So guess what? I'm not going to run with that non-viable option. I'm only going to exercise a viable one because I know who I am. And we're going to show you how, if you want to know who you are, and stand in the breach and move to the next level. Because, folks, it's not going to get better. When do you clear out the cobwebs out of our brains, folks? It's going from bad to worse. I see the horror stories, but see, I don't run on fear. I run on my power. I run on my strength. I know who I am, and this is the beautiful thing. You can stop the crazy train whenever you want. You can actually get off. And Michael and I, over at Privates.me, this is what we're teaching everybody. That's why I want you to come into my private room so I can teach you to, get your mind right and move forward in a new direction. And it's not a lot of heavy lifting. Michael and I have done most all the heavy lifting for everybody. But you know what? It takes you to take an action. So, you know what? Come on down. I always say the water's fine. Yeah, I use the military vernacular, but that's where I lived for 10 years. So, we'll show you the love over there. We'll treat you like a real man or a woman. We won't talk to you. And I actually respond to people who actually email me. And I actually call people. I actually talk to people, because I'm not afraid of no ghosts, because I'm going to show the love. Those that show it to me, they get it back tenfold. See, that's the law of reciprocity, folks. It really works that way. So, anyways, enough of my bantering. God, I can't help myself tonight. I'm on a roll,
You're in beautiful form this evening, my friend.
It's beautiful. Hey, folks, because I'm sick and tired of what I see. I see it as plain as the nose on my face. But it's beautiful when people actually start paying attention and stand in the breach. And like I say, Brother Johnny's an anomaly. You know what? He's my hero because, you know what? It takes a pair to stand up for yourself. This is what's scaring the living crap out of Canada right now because, the Dean Cliffords of the world and the Johns of the world and the others, my other Canadian brothers in other countries actually finding out and knowing who the hell they are and not arguing and warring, but just standing fast in the breaches and say, hey, there's my line, brother. You know what? And it's not warring, folks. It's removing the power because nobody died and left these clowns king. They're just bad actors. It's not even government. You think it's government. They just put a piece of crap on a piece of paper, and they make you think they're somebody they're not. That's called bad actors. That's all they are. And they're operating in nothing but naked aggression. And you know what? Every dog will have its day. It's all a wheel. What goes around and it comes around. So, hey, for those of us, my listeners who are paying attention, if you're sick and tired of the crap, come on over to my house. It's really good. I serve up a really good buffet over there.
Yeah, you're right, Peter. It is you're talking about, standing up in the breach and stuff like that, and how Michelle said you gain your power back. And that's exactly how it is. I'm not a connected fellow or anything else, but when I walk into those courts now, I can feel the respect. I don't get the little smirks and the smiles and the stuff like this, like I got at first, who's this guy think he is,
Yep.
After the second and third time I showed up at that court, they knew exactly who I was, and they were hoping that I was going to, consent or bow down or something, and probably quite surprised that I know what I know. them thinking that I'm just some guy in the middle of the woods, with these weird ideas, as they say, right? A conspiracy theorist or whatever.
No. It's
truth
foreign,
is not conspiracy.
It's foreign to them, John, because their brains have all gone to dead asleep. Because it's the status quo with them. That's their modus operandi. See, because they won't look at themselves in the mirror and see what the damage they're causing their brothers and sisters, their children, and all this other stuff, folks. Hey, you know what? If we don't stand up, i.e. in the breach, guess what? You're next. You're next. Then what are you going to do? Come crying to somebody because you chose not to do anything? So, hey, folks, the time for doing nothing is done. It's time to move. It's time to go forward. I mean, hey, like I say, they'll hand you as much tea because we've accepted it up to this point. We've stood impotent, for lack of a better term, in a whole different range of capacities. And see, folks, that's how they test the water. That's how they test the water. What they do is they see how much crap they can push at you, and they test it. They do bad acts and see the reaction of the crowd. This is how they test your heart, your mind. And if you've gone to sleep and you're dead asleep, good. We know that, hey, the idiots didn't pass this test. The sheep are all dead asleep. We can get away with more. And then we get away with a little more, and then a little more. And before you know it, folks, it's really not good to live on the insane train anymore because it doesn't become a viable option when they're forcing you for shots, chips, and without the dips. Folks, these are really, really deleterious, nefarious acts. And like I say, if you don't like the pain now, just stand back and do nothing for a little while longer, and it's just going to get uglier. You have the power. We have the power. We're not going to go ahead and war with anybody. We're going to peace. And I'm going to teach everybody how to go to peace over at my house if you want to learn. Because, I sound aggressive. I sound boisterous. But, folks, I'm going to bring you the love bomb. I'm going to show you how to go to peace. And it's really simple. Anyways, it's been one of them nights, folks. Anyways, like I say, if I didn't care, I wouldn't say anything. But when do you reach your breaking point? When do you draw your line? It really comes down to that. How much more do you have to consent to? Folks, I've heard all the horror stories. I've seen the horror stories. I've been a party to some of the horror stories. So, no more? No more. I'm at my no more point.
Yeah, and it's people like you, Pete, and stuff like that are waking up. Millions are waking up. Like, go back 10 years, and no one knew what is known now. There are a lot of people who are waking up, and yes, sometimes it's not as fast as we'd like because we are this world. We were talking about Fukushima the other day and all this kind of stuff, and
there's
a lot of things that can be fixed in this world. Even the radiation stuff. This is another lie that we've been taught that can't be fixed and all this kind of stuff. There are simple ways to fix that kind of stuff. It's just we've got to get on it. We've got to start doing it. We've got to start coming together and not believing this lie that we're helpless in this world when exactly we do have all the power. We are the 99% kind of thing, right? So
they can stick their Agenda 21 in all these counties across the world. Folks, they're raping everybody. Like I say, it's just about the estates, folks, because you gave over, you registered, you gave over, but that's all right. Michael and I are going to do some heavy lifting on the estate side of the house because it's just about the estate. It's just about probating the estate. It's all about trust law, and that's another deep end of the pond we're going to go to, but we want you to take some kiddie steps first. See, it starts with the kiddie steps. That's the whole point of why I did the third-party debt termination package. Folks, it really works. It really does work. But you got to, you got to get the fear factor out of your mind because it's just a bunch of bad actors, third-party scumbags, bought it for 3 cents on the dollar. They lied to you straight up, and they got you in the Tricks is for Kids hour. Well, that's all right. You can fix it. You can neutralize it. You can put it to bed, and it's a simple step. It's a real, real simple step. I practiced on me, so I'm not going to let you step into the deep end of the breach and get yourself blowed up. But you know what, folks? Until you get past your fear factor, you're annihilated. You're going to be stolen from because that's what they're doing. They're stealing because the deal already got paid. All original debt gets paid by the original creditor. They already got it satisfied because it's a hypothecation event. The minute you put your signature on it, it was a done deal. and then they come after you after you go into default and come after you through the side door, and with some scum-sucking bottom feeder called a liar lawyer or some third-party bottom feeder, and they send you some garbage, and you're willing to open it and do business. Well, you don't have to. Here we come back to consent, folks. You have a choice. I'm going to show you a real easy choice. Michael and I have done the heavy lifting on that end, too. It's an administrative, knock 'em in the head, simple process, and I really, really love third-party debt collectors. Folks, I love them so much, I'm going international. Michael and I have already gone into creation mode. We're almost done. My Australian brothers, we love you. You're next. UK, you're next. Yeah, I'm going to go to Belgium. I'm going to go to Italy. I'm going to go to where any IMF-run countries are. I'm going to share the love on a different level, on third parties. So, folks, it's a beautiful thing when you have your mind right, and you get free, but you got to take your baby steps first, because I don't expect you to step in the deep end until you get your mind right. So come on over and get the shift. Yeah, folks, it's all about the heart. Peter's walked down some paths the last 52 and a half years, and has had a change of mind, change of heart, change of spirit. I just couldn't lay down anymore. I couldn't go back to sleep. 25 years of the digging, and I just said, okay, how do we affect a change? I tried talking to people off the cuff, and they all went back to sleep. But I thank goodness I have this little soapbox called Blog Talk. We're bringing the shift. Like I say, this is getting gravitational pull on a different level, and we do have a couple calls lined up on the tarmac, and I'd like to take a couple. Let's see what we can do. I guess let's 401. I guess if they're in the loop still, Diatro, let them on through. 401, you are open.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Hi. Let me see. I'm Gloria from Rhode Island.
Gloria. All right.
How are you?
Doing fine.
I called like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I was the one that was at the Department of Revenue, and with the woman that went through a bankruptcy, and we used the red pen, remember me?
Right.
Okay. Well, we were in court today for the hearing. The last hearing, the judge didn't show up. And then this hearing, she kept us and then isolated us to, like, the very end, so nobody saw us.
Oh, yeah, they're good at that.
And it was just, all day long, and there was 4 of us there watching the whole, charade. But it ended today. But this woman, she has PTSD, and they have been 8 years just taking, and it was finally, she was doing it alone, and they just take, and her ex-husband never had to do a financial, like a DR6. Right. And I was there, and I grabbed it today, and I'm like looking at it, and I said, because he kept saying, well, I want her DR6, and I said to Kathy Lee, I said, grab his, I want to see it, and it was like a little kid did it, and I'm thinking, how has this gone on for this many years? Well, I know why, because the DOR is deducting it from her, and they make 25%.
Right,
but on top of it.
I know, and see, herein lies the problem, because I can't fix it in 5 minutes. That's why I set up the private estate. No, and I know you're not expecting me to. I'm just trying to share a little love here. This is irrefutable proof that we've given over, we've gone to sleep, and we keep doing things that cause us deleterious effects, i.e. contracts. It's all about contracts. There is no Constitution in USA, Inc. Everything operates under international law. Everything's by consent, and herein lies the problem. So this is the hard part. I can't untrain 50 years of lies in 5 minutes on anybody, so this is why I set up a soapbox, i.e. a private soapbox over at privates.me, because we know how to settle accounts. We know how to operate in a different capacity, and we're going in love and harmony. You see, but we've given over on so many different levels. We've traversed. We've given consent. We've signed all these contracts. They didn't teach us this stuff in school. They're never going to teach you this stuff in school. So what they do is they teach our children how to fill out W-4 forms and crap like that to give themselves over. My sister-in-law is a CPA, so I know just a little bit about IRS issues. 13 years of having a real good time with them, showing them some love. I practiced on them. Anyways, but then I learned different things.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Sweetie, your best bet is, like I say, I can't give you any answers, pat answers on this phone. I'm not going to even try. So I'm going to tell you go sign up to privatist.me, which is free.
Okay.
It's I don't know if you're already there, if you've been there. This is what I'm trying to tell.
I need to be pointed in the right direction because I have PTSD and I'll be all over the place looking for it.
Well, it's real simple. It's are you on Blog Talk US right now? Did you come in through that front door? Okay. There's a privatist.me icon down probably about 4 from the bottom, and just click on that, and there's a blue icon once you get in there, and it'll allow you to actually get into the site and come on into my lunchroom, for lack of a better term, and it's free. Start there. Matter of fact, I'm creating a direction of flow call for this Thursday night, so you'll probably want to be there. It's free as well. I'm not about the money. No, I'm just about the truth. So we're gonna. I want 1 million people at my buffet table, just getting their mind right. Because you know what, this is how we affect the change. But I can't do it in 5 minutes. But I can give you excellent direction of flow to peel back the curtain, get your mind right, so that you can move forward, so you don't become a speed bump in the cog. Anyways, based on that, I really don't want to bind up the rest of the call with this issue, but I want you to come into my lunchroom, and you are welcome, and welcome to the paradigm shift. It's coming. You're in the right place, right time, and move forward. That's the only thing I can give you at this very moment.
And I just want to say something. It's so easy to see when you're observing people, and I mean, they have 2 shifts in this family court. One in the morning, one in the afternoon, and everybody's in some program. And it's just, when you step back and look at the whole, I call it play with all the characters.
Right, bad actors. You got it, sweetie. That's exactly all it is, because it's not government. It's corporate whores all in bed together.
It's all because I Googled these family courts, and they're private corporations.
Very good. Well, then you just got the memo, sweetheart. You got 5 stars. You go to the head of the class.
Now I want to invest in it.
No. Yeah, it's just another hypothecation event. We're creating other things as well to move out of the slave plantation. Anyways, I thank you for your call, and
thank you.
Come on into privatist.me, and like I say, you're in for a real treat. I think you're going to like what you see, and on multiple levels. And I cover the medical side of the house as well. You'll get more truth than you could probably stand, but that's all right. You'll get your mind right. You get to move forward. You go to the head of the class. Anyways, thank you very much for your time.
That's what I do. When I find something out, I look, and I'm like, huh? And then I'm like, I don't want to know, because it's scary. People are oh, yeah, right. And I'm like, no, look.
Right. It's the fear that paralyzes everybody because lack of knowledge. Guess what you're not going to be having lack of? You're not going to have any lack of knowledge if you come over to my house.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great night, sweetheart.
Thank you, too.
All right. I have 719 open. I'll take it, and then we'll move forward.
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
How you doing, brother? What's your name? What's your first name, brother?
My name's Tyrone, brother. What's yours?
I'm Peter. Yep, Peter Pan. Sometimes they call me worse things, but it's all right. You can call me Peter. How you doing, Tyrone? What you got for me?
Hey, can I come get some food at that buffet? Like, where you at, man?
It's a great buffet, brother. Have you been over to privatist.me yet?
Been past it, man.
You've been past it?
Yeah. Do you got that chicken?
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, how do you feel about Obama's foreign policy?
Did you have a question for me, brother?
Yeah. You know how Obama's supposed to be liberal and all that? Do you think it's his foreign policy, how it's never going to change? What he's doing, starting all these other wars and stuff, man.
Yeah. You see.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm off that plantation, brother. I don't even give it any status. I don't busy myself with politics in any way, shape, or form because I'm not part of the body politic. Only fictions are part of the body politic. Corporate slaves, franchisees. So if you you've signed in, i.e., if you're on the voter rolls, you're a slave on the plantation. I'm not there. So based upon that, this political bent on talking about any politician, I don't even digress on these conversations. But I appreciate the question.
All right, man, no problem.
Thank you, brother. Hey, go over to private, stop me, and we'll change your paradigm a little bit. I think you'll get a lot more clarity.
We'll do, man. Save a nigga some chicken.
All right, you got it, brother. Have a great night. Thank you for calling, Tyrone.
All right, man.
Good night. All right, you got it. Peace, brother. Okay, folks, we're going to move forward, and I thank the callers. Anyways, Michelle, are we on the right page here tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm having a few problems with my my phone connection. Just so I've been sort of in and out. Maybe you've noticed I've been quiet. Having a few technical problems, but yeah, I did hear you were discussing reaction and action, and those are very important words. My sense is that we're held in an artificial state of reaction where we're just having energies coming at us and just reacting to them automatically. Just time is accelerated, everything is compressed, the wheel is going faster and faster. It's sleep, work, consume, sleep, work, consume. And the thing is, the power is in action. It is not in reaction. I want to give you a quote here by very, very smart, insightful man. His name is Viktor E. Frankl, and he was a survivor of the concentration camps during World War II. And he said in his book, it's called Man's Search for Meaning. It's a very slim book, just beautifully written, extremely dense with meaning on so many different levels. I recommend it to the listeners to see somebody else's paradigm. He said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And my sense is that we are no longer claiming that space for ourselves, that silence, because if we were to claim that space, that silence, we would recognize that we do have a choice in how we respond, and this would be an action rather than a reaction.
Right.
And I also like Jean-Paul Sartre, who was a French existentialist. I love this. He said, freedom is what you do with what's been done to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that again. Freedom is what you do with what's been done to you. So that implies that you always have a choice. No matter the amount of suffering you've gone through, you always have the free will. You always have choice. And see, that's something that I feel that we have given away unknowingly, that we give away, and that ultimately is ours to reclaim when we see that we have a choice.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's it's part of standing fast in the breach. Like I say, as long as we continue to give over, i.e., consent, and never stand for anything, then we'll fall for everything. It's really that that mindset. So, I don't fall for anything. You know what? You tell me you have some validity, you better have it in black and white, and I don't give a crap if it's a law. I mean, you better be standing fast in the breach, and you better be showing me something of substance that has validity, because if you don't, you just stepped into the deep end, and you're just another bad actor, and I want to see how you're standing naked in front of me in your full commercial liability, operating as a bad actor. Because, hey, you just stepped into my venue, and they talk about venues, jurisdiction, all this other garbage. See, that's the problem. Everybody keeps walking. I was listening to that young lady who was talking earlier, and they went in. When you go in, folks, you're giving over jurisdiction. You're standing in dead man's land. You may not understand it. So all those folks out there who say, I'm going in and I'm filing this and I'm filing that. Well, folks, that's called giving over jurisdiction. That's called traversing. That's called creating a controversy. Well, I don't do any of that. I don't give it any power. You gave it power when you walked in. Yeah, I know some of you have been dragged in, but see, when they asked you your name, you gave it to them. When they asked you your address, you gave it to them. See, because you're operating in dead man's land, and you confirmed it. You, by opening your mouth, confirmed and gave over further via consent by answering. You want to ask me where I live? I live in my damn body. I don't live at an address. I don't live in anywhere. I live on. I mean, these are the things I've had to deprogram my brain because of my responses were the directed ones by the compliance police. Folks, they create you to be compliant. Like I say, they started us young. They started us as children. And we really step up. And, hey, folks, I've had 10 years of military, and they teach you compliance real well over there, too. But like I say, square peg, round hole, all good. My colonel, I used to drive him nuts because I would ask all the right questions. And he goes, Doc, why don't you just give over? I says, yeah, that's called consent, Colonel. That's He goes, you know what? You got a point. So, folks, that's the whole point. We stopped thinking. That's the whole point. That thing that's 3 feet above your navel, that's called your brain housing thinking group. You went to sleep. So I'm going to help you wake it up if you come over to my house. But it's a sad state of affairs that we've literally been reduced to a warring capacity on multiple levels. I'm done with the war, folks, and you should be too. And if you're done with the war, like I say, you got to come over and you got to go to peace. I'm going to show you how to go to peace. I'm going to show you how to go to ground because that's where I'm living. I know I sound like I'm a little bit overbearing, a little bit boisterous, because I'm sick and tired of the lies. It's just one lie after another. See, because my eyes are wide open. I'm not a mullet. Folks, if you don't know what a mullet is, that's a fish with no eyes. A friend of mine told me that back in 1994. I didn't even have a clue what the hell a mullet was, and I looked it up. Yeah, well, I'm a man, both eyes open, ears open. I'm paying attention because I'm a man. I'm not a dead entity. I'm not operating in zombie land, vampirism, whatever. I haven't given over my mind. I cleared my mind because I actually feed the machine correctly, folks. It's all about garbage in, garbage out. We've been sticking a lot of garbage in our minds for a long time. And if you watch the Idiot Box, and it is the Idiot Box, and you subscribe to that paradigm, you gotta shut it off, and you gotta go somewhere else because you're feeding the mind swill. You're just another wheel in the cog, and you've gone to sleep. So the wake-up call is on us.
You know what, Pete? That reminds me.
All right, we got two talking at the same time.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, that reminds me. We talk about the TV and stuff like that. This is the big shift that's happened in the last, I would need to say what TV's been around 100 years, but in the last, 50 years, it's been the big mind shift. And it makes me think about, like we always talk about how it programs you and how it hypnotizes you and all this kind of stuff. And people don't realize how easily they're hypnotized. I used to attend these hypnotic, shows and stuff like that, and I was never able to be hypnotized. Go figure. But we'd have people beside me and stuff like that, and within seconds, this fellow would have these people hypnotized. Locking the fingers together. Putting them in trances. Within seconds. So people don't realize how
open
easily
and susceptible. You know what I call that, brother? I call that an open vessel. You are easily tapped. And that's what and so me and Michelle talk about these deep level issues about how, I don't do the chakra crap. I don't do none of that garbage. I'm not opening my vessel to any foreign entities in any way, shape, or form. See, I don't need to meditate. I don't need to. I don't need to subscribe to somebody else's false world according to Garp, because I got my mind right. See, because when my mind's wide open, which it is, pretty much 24/7, I don't get much sleep these days. But that's a beautiful thing, see, because then I'm not susceptible to becoming an open vessel to somebody else's subscribed false paradigm. The auto-suggestion really works really well, John, just like you're saying. So I understand the concepts that you speak of, because they're valid, and this is what they're looking for.
Like, when I go to these shows and stuff like that, these shows, you know, a half hour to an hour, and TV is on 24 hours a day, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And sending out, and it's not only just what they're saying and what they're doing on the screen, stuff like that. There's actually, you know, frequencies that these electronics put out.
Signal.
Yep. Well, exactly, especially with these high-def TVs. Why do you think they push these high-def TVs so quickly and stuff like that, and wanted to get everybody, you know, over to the new digital and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
There's reasons why they want to push that so fast and get rid of the analog signals and all this kind of stuff, right? So, yeah, this is the stuff the TV, man, I'm telling you, if the world
I've never owned a flat screen.
It'd be a lot better off.
Go figure. I've never owned a flat screen. I got the old 25-inch. It's beautiful. It works just fine.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I say, I'll watch a little Weather Channel and see what lies they're telling me today, because they like to talk about the carbon tax and the global warming scam, too. But, you know, it's all good. Anyways.
And the build-up, also the build-up to weather disasters. It's all they're all attempts to guide our focus, to guide our consciousness, our awareness. Hurricane Sandy. It's coming. Batten down the hatches. It's coming. Really? And when I put my focus on it coming, it's going to come.
It's fear porn.
It's just so. It's so absolutely mundane. It's so completely commonplace that it's. I don't have the words. I struggle at trying to explain what I see happening anyway, and it happens in a millisecond, even less. When I put my focus on something, that is how I have externalized my power. I have put my power there. Therefore, I am less in dominion of my energies. Therefore, I am more out of balance. When I am out of balance, I am more suggestible to other things. Therefore, it's like a re-entry circuit. Therefore, I believe, there's that word that I dislike so much. Therefore, I believe in those events which are being to which my attention is being drawn from outside sources. The hurricane, it's coming. There's going to be destruction and suffering and death and, just this orgy of lower
3D parallels.
Yes. But, why? One of my favorite questions is why? And I see this all over the place, that our focus is guided. There's so much blackness happening. And I mean literally also. People literally in this big city that I live in, the color of choice is black. And, the skulls and everybody with their earbuds and their iPods and their smartphones and walking down the street and not even being in this matrix, not even being aware. They are even further entrenched.
Hey, they're oblivious they're oblivious to the fact that they're oblivious. Isn't that special?
Hey, they're the extras of the show.
Huh? What's that?
Exactly.
I was going to say they're the extras of the show.
Double time again. All right, John.
John,
I was
John
just saying, people like that are basically just the extras in the show, the background prop for the movie kind of thing. These guys that are just, you see it all the time. No one looks at anybody anymore. I even had a conversation. I was at the grocery store today picking up a few things, and one of the fellows was there, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing today?" And he talked to me, but he didn't look at me. No
it's automatic. Everything has become
automatic.
Automatic.
The human element has been removed on multiple levels. Everybody's got out of the game. They forgot to actually correspond and integrate social graces with their brothers and sisters. Go figure.
And you see it more and more.
And Peter, that was part of my rant on last show on just these distractions that I see happening also in the so-called those who pursue spiritual practices or, to develop themselves spiritually, and that drives me absolutely crazy. They're diversions.
Oh, speaking of diversion.
Am I still on?
Yeah, you're here. Hey, I had a beautiful diversion.
Oh, I had a weird technical effect. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, I had a weird diversion yesterday. They were passing out tracts in my neighborhood. I didn't give you my consent nor my permission. The guy came up to my doorstep and he was going to, folks, I was really nice. But I didn't give you my permission nor my consent, and you're going to come over and push your swill on my doorstep. I'm going to share the love. But the minute he tried to open his mouth, I said, brother, my soul's not compromised. You have a great day. I won't be needing any of those tracts. And I sent him on his way. He got the memo. Mm. I'm not compromised. I know who I am. I don't need your feeding. And, it was a poor old guy. So I did show the love. But see, folks, that's the crap they push upon you. They'll step in your neighborhood. And, we're all going to be nice and willy-nilly. I can't subscribe to a false paradigm, especially when you want to bring it to my door, right. And I'm in my private capacity, and I didn't invite you in. And I'm not going to invite you in because, guess what? I don't subscribe to false paradigms. It's that simple.
Right, especially if it's one
say no.
Where you see all the practitioners of it absolutely with teeth clenched and they're white-knuckling. They're holding on to this belief, and there's that word I really dislike. They're holding on to this belief like they are lost at sea and this is their life raft. But the thing is, it's a distraction. It's a belief. And if you let go of that, you'll come closer to the truth. It just seems like, okay, I was looking into Buddhism as
we're going to have to go to break in a
of,
second, sweetie, so
okay, sure.
I'm not going to let you get into the deep end for a second.
Buddhism is the magic word to go to break.
Well, sorry, sweetie. Yeah, you're trying to divert me, and it's not going to happen tonight. Peter's playing. Folks, we're really glad you're here because, like I say, this is the paradigm shift. I've been talking about this since the beginning of the year, since this show started, and started to get some gravitational pull, started to get a wake-up call going. It's a beautiful thing. We do have a 614 in the queue. Michelle, we're going to come back to your Buddhism deal in a second because I want you to share that. It's not a rant. No, you're dead nuts right on.
No, it will be.
Hey, maybe you can. You're sharing the love. It's all good. Anyways, 614 is in the loop. Let them through. You can let them through, Deatra, if you want.
Hey, have you got a copy on 614?
All right, 614, we got a copy on you, brother. What can what you going to share some love with us? What you got?
Oh, well, it's pretty convenient that my new Windows 8 operating system decided to do an update and shut down on me right as I was online with you guys.
Of course.
So I'm a little unprepared, so I'd like to stay on the line and let your 928 go through and give my computer a chance to reboot because I'm a little unprepared without the computer on.
Right.
I have quite a few questions for you, Peter.
Well, brother, I'm going to let you do one question. We don't do quite a few questions here because I don't have the time. There's other people backed up on the tarmac. So feel free to give me one, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, one of the most important questions that my partner and I were talking about the other day on privitus.me, I know that the money issue is really not that important, but could you give a distinction between the free content you have on privitus.me and the one that you're charging $120 a year for? I want to get this information out to everybody, and we're doing that through our website at libertyzone.com, so
right.
We want to be able to get this information out to everybody, and we're training CVACs locally, and I'm preparing to be able to do seminars and things like that. And I want to be able to give the information as freely as possible to my group, which I'm connected all over the world, have been for years.
Yep.
So I've got all these people that I'm sending to your site now.
Right.
And some of them get discouraged because of the money thing on the website, but I understand you have operating expenses and all that. And,
right.
So just distinguish for me between that, and I can call in on another show and ask other questions. But
okay, that's cool, brother. Hey, I'm going to give you the nickel tour. I'm going to give you the concerted tour. When I set Privatist.me up, it was I set up two sides of the house. One side is 100% free. See, until my brothers and sisters take the rose-colored glasses off, I don't even think they're ready to come to the other side of the fence. So what I did was, that's why membership is free. It's 100% free because I talk about the medical stuff, about most people have been lied to. I have an education page that gives documents, information, talks about the bonds and all this other stuff. These are informations that people need to know on how their system works, how the system works. That's why I created a curriculum also. So all those information, those are 100% free, so they can pull the rose-colored glasses off. The other side of the fence, yeah, that's the membership. That's full membership for 1 year, and they get to come sit in my classes every Thursday, 52 weeks a year, and get the memo on a different level because we talk about going to peace, we talk about setting off accounts, we talk about private side accounts, the estate, trust law, stuff like that, information that they won't really talk out in the public. So the reason I created it in the private, and the whole point of the exercise is this, brother. See, like the third-party debt termination thing, when somebody gets the full $120 a year membership, they get that debt termination package, which is worth it's worth whatever their debt is because it's a false debt, it's a fraud. And I have a 12-minute video that explains the fraud pretty much succinctly on the cover page. So when they come in, they get into access to all the private audios, all the information. They get the third-party debt termination package for free. They can download it, use it, and it really does annihilate the third-party bottom feeders on a pretty succinct, quick, and effective level. So I have to keep the lights on. I have to pay my webmaster, and I have to keep the site going. So that all costs something. I would love to give it away 100% for free, but I found out when you give it away all for free, nobody does anything anyway. So I said, okay, so I broke it down to a $10 a month analogy. That's a pack of cigarettes up in New York. Hey, shout out to New York. Hey, forget about it. Go park the car. It's all good. They talk funny up there. I love them anyways. Hey, I'm a Yankee myself, but so that's
I understand. So I'm glad you clarified that for everybody, including myself.
Yep.
You got the bills still, and I just wanted to make one quick comment. I've been watching YouTube real close for all the new stuff that's popping up, and I just want to say that the trolls are out. Full force right now.
Yep. Oh, I love them.
They prevent this information from getting spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
We're doing things on Facebook. We've got quite a few high volume fan pages we're doing things with. But the trolls are out in high numbers right now, so everybody just
pay attention. Hey brother, let me share with you another novel concept. I'm private. I'm not in the public. When I deal with my issues of the day, that's why when people sign up to members, they make a actual physical. They have to do an action, and now you become private, and the disclaimer applies. So for the PTBs, whatever you want to call them, see, I can't do this in the public, but I can sure as hell do it in the private, and I do every day because I want to share with you the truth with both barrels. You operate. I don't give advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. But I'll tell you what, I'll share with you truth straight up, and if it resonates, apply it. If it doesn't, then that's the whole point of the exercise of becoming private. That's why it's a private portal. So I created this with my brothers and sisters in mind, those that are like-minded and who are willing to shake the poop from their brains and come over to my house because they're going to get an effective an exponential learning curve, unparalleled to none, and they'll get their mind right. Brother, we ain't selling nothing. So that's the whole point. Hey, brother, as a matter of fact, I even share that on the site. For those who are looking for new debt termination, I say, hey, go to FCUSA, and they'll be glad to take $3,000 donation off you to deal with one third-party debt scumbag, and I think that's horrendous. So I give the package away for free to all my brothers. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give it away international through all the IMF-run countries so I can share the love on a whole different level. So welcome to my house, brother. We're going to have some fun.
Well, I have a good time at your house, and I learn a lot. So one minor recommendation before I let the other caller get through, should you consider maybe having an affiliate program so people can get paid and help pay their own bills while we go through this ascension process? Should you put together some type of affiliate program where people can make a few bucks themselves for spreading this information? That's all.
Yeah, that's a good concept, brother. Hey, you got my email address?
It's probably on Privatus. I can probably email you.
Yeah. Just there's not too many Peters around.
Well, I'll tell you what, Peter. I will email you, and we should discuss off air on the telephone.
Sure.
Because we're putting together something similar with Liberty Zone, and would love to be able to work with you on that and help you get organized in that fashion.
Excellent, brother. What's your first name, brother?
My name is Mike.
Mike. Okay. I remember you. Send me an email, and we'll set up something on my tarmac, and we'll talk further.
Will do. It'll be coming from urbanoffgrid@gmail.
Thank you, brother. I will be looking forward to it. I will contact you back. Have a great one, and have a great night, Mike. Thank you very much for coming on.
Sounds awesome. I'll enjoy the show.
Good night, Mike.
Good night.
And do I have a 914 or 928 still in the loop, Sister Deatra? Okay. I'm standing fast in the breach, as usual.
usual.
Okay, we all good. Good. Well, hey, yeah, the tarmac is cleared. This ship has been decommissioned from further status. We're moving forward to Sister Michelle to share some love, a little bit about Buddhism. Come on, sweetheart, show me what you got.
It's just a rant. You know it. It's just going to be a rant. I was looking at this as the least offensive of the organized world religions, and let's look at that. Organized world religions. I mean, they're basically state-sanctioned thought control programs, are they not?
Yep.
I know you were discussing how when you were a kid, you didn't need some priest to be an intermediary between you and your God. And anyway, it's just, I find these to be so many distractions. And once we have a belief in what it is that we're clinging on to so desperately, it removes from us the need to continue to ask questions, the need to continue on our path. It's like, okay, I've gotten this far. This is where I'm setting up camp. This is the be-all and end-all. There's nothing else for me to know. There's no other way for me to expand. It's my guru. My guru has all the answers, or it's my ism, or it's my I don't even know where to start, Peter. It's just I've just been noticing all these things, and people just cling on to these distractions, and it's not my place. I think I've come to the understanding that it's not my place to deprive someone of their most prized possession, and it is their belief. Or, when I was doing energy healing, it was their suffering, their pain.
Yep.
And I'm getting a massive feedback that I think is it's to distract me as I'm speaking, because I hear myself as I'm speaking.
I hate when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've just been experiencing a lot of technical difficulties this evening, and I don't accept them. I'm aware of them, and in being aware of them, that is, I would venture 99.9% of clearing them. So I don't consent to this interference. What do you say, Peter?
I give him a big cup.
At one point we're going to have to share with the listeners what that means. But
I'm gonna share the big cup maybe on Saturday, because you know what? I want everybody to get the memo when I start talking about the big cup, because it's a beautiful thing. I won't do the F-bomb when I explain it and digress on it, but they're really gonna love the story about the big cup, folks. And when you get the big cup, hey, you're in rare form, and you're in my house, and we're gonna have some fun. See, because I'm gonna get you laughing your butt off. Anyways, that's where I live, folks. It's Comedy Central. Come on over to my house, because I'm going to bring some yucks. It's all good. But Brother John, what say you?
Well, I was just listening to Michelle and stuff like that, and how she's talking about the religion, how people. I look at it like this, these people that are, looking into meditation, looking into Buddhism and stuff like that, they're all trying to find the source.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so these are different permission slips. There's no, I don't consider there's a right way to live life. You know, it is all about the experience.
Right, and I do want to add that on. I do want to tack that on, John. That it's just for me. I was just thinking for me. I know that people find a lot of value in meditation. I know a lot of people find whatever it is that they're looking for, maybe serenity or a sense of calm and quiet in their particular faith or belief, and I understand that. But for myself, maybe it's because I'm in silence most of my waking day, that somehow becomes my meditation. It's just when it was imposed on me, when I was exploring Buddhism, I just couldn't get into it. And then I started asking questions. Okay, why do we need the candles? Okay, why am I being deprived of oxygen here? Why am I told to silence my mind? Why am I told to stop thinking? Why am I kind of being led to becoming spiritually, mentally lobotomized? That was my personal reaction.
Well, it sounds like, you know what I mean, you found what you needed to find to get to your spiritual enlightenment, and you're basically saying that those levels are no longer relevant for your experience anymore.
Right, and I'm not enlightened. I'm not enlightened. I don't know why that is somehow this carrot that's being dangled in front of us as this great desirable thing that we somehow need to seek to attain. I don't go looking. I know that my path is unfolding. You know, does that make any sense to you?
Yeah. And it's almost like, you know, when you do find your path, you kind of look back and go, oh, okay, that's some of the things that you went through and stuff like that were examples of what you don't want and what you don't prefer. But you do need those in your life to see what you don't prefer. And that's kind of how I look at the negative energies and stuff like that. You know, it is the showing you of what you don't prefer and what you would like to change, you know, your perspective into or your reality into. So I do find that.
Yeah, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose the listeners, but because I understand people are waking up to duality, but I just sense that I realize that light and dark are pretty much the same thing. They're
just different sides of the spectrum.
They're just an expression. They're an expression of, well, it's non-duality. It's a sense of abiding non-duality. For me, I call it synthesis. And I understand that the dark is as essential as the light, and that the light is as essential as the dark, and that both serve.
Exactly.
But I don't, like I said, I don't want to, I don't want to confuse people with my spiritual mumbo jumbo, because I understand that a lot of people are just realizing that there is, that there are forces at play here, and that, perhaps they do have a choice, and they're learning their power and realizing that freedom comes with responsibility, and that we are not children, but we are adults with power. But you have to walk through that to know that you do have the power.
Exactly.
So it takes action. We can't just somehow accept an idea, oh yeah, I'm eternal, I'm omniscient, I'm all-powerful. No, you have to be walking the path, if that makes any sense.
Yep. Well, like I say, there's so many crazy-making behaviors as far as re-diverting our attentions to look anywhere else but inside of you. Hey, gee, I have a song that says "Inside of Me." What the hell? Maybe I'm trying to tell everybody something. Folks, it starts with you. To thy own self be true. Look into, it's called introspection. See, the Creator gave you a brain, and He told you have this thing called the conscience, and it's going to tell you a lot of things. And it's your measuring stick. It's like a meter. and that's where I live. See, folks, I have hard enough time fighting my butt with both hands, and I'm going to go look in nooks and crannies for some boogeyman or some other false paradigm to wrap my brain around when I got enough problems just staying in the here and now, and that's where I live. Guess what? That's really simple, because you know what? Yesterday's gone. Today is here. I don't have tomorrow. I have no guarantee of a breath even in the next 5 minutes. Me and Michelle were talking about it tonight. I said, yep, I'm talking to you here and now, and 5 minutes from now I could have a drone attack. I could have a meteor fall, hit me dead where I stand, but all I have is what I got right here and now. Everything else is a false paradigm, folks. Yes, you've got to think about the future, but I don't think about it much. I think about how I use my energy, tap into it, and roll. It's called going with the flow.
Right.
You have this perspective in your mind. Go ahead.
Peter, that's the lie that we're fed. That is the lie that we're fed, that that we don't have power, and we're inundated. It's just an explosion of information that keeps us off balance. But once we actually allow ourselves a bit of silence, to look inside, because this is where somehow we are not allowed to be. We're not allowed to be quiet and reflective.
Our quiet little spot inside our hearts and minds.
Exactly. Just look at how things are set up. We have no time to ourselves anymore. And there's reason for that, you know, because the person who realizes their power becomes a threat to those powers that would otherwise have that person powerless.
Yeah, I have more time to do introspection now than I ever have, because guess what? I'm not diverted. I'm not in zombie land. I don't have to hurry up and run to get somewhere. I'm already there, folks. I'm already there. When I wake up in the morning, I'm already where I'm supposed to be, and that's how I get my mind right and get the ball rolling. It's a beautiful thing. It's like I'm in a state of psychogenic shock in a good way, because I actually, every day I start, it's a whole new beautiful day. It's like huge, because I just go with the flow and it just happens. My days happen even without a bunch of pre-planning, even though, I got to move things forward. I've got administrative processes and this and that and everything. But you know what? I'm not binded up. I'm not binded up. I only bind myself up if I choose to bind myself up. I'm not operating under dictates anymore. I'm running with my flow of energy. It's a beautiful thing when you're not having to deal with dictates. Yes, I can go to the store for 5 minutes if I have to. I leave my private space to go handle little nuances I have to mess with. But I really like where I'm at, because I get to get my creative flow going, and I get to look within me, and then I get to communicate with all these beautiful friends that come through my door, and all these, and I'm making friends, and I get to live life on purpose. It's beautiful. It's like this is my paradigm shift, and I'm sharing it with you, folks. Come on over to my side, and now I'm going to show you how you can get yours. Anyways, I don't know. It's I'm no longer binded up. I'm not in hurry up. Even though I'm always in a state of flux, I'm always in a state.
Mode.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not in fight mode anymore. And you know, that's what I was trying to explain to a friend of mine about what it is that I'm doing now with you and with Michael. And I was trying to explain that you know, there is no fight. And I was explaining to him that within this realm of people trying to initiate change within the systems, I was trying to explain to him that what makes you and Michael unique with your processes is that you do not paradoxically seek freedom through war, and that you do not try to go into the system to fix the system. That is that's insanity. I think that is the definition of insanity, to try to mess with the energies of something that is existing to try and fix something that is essentially broken, has been broken, and was set up to fail from the very beginning. It's that analogy that we were discussing the other day about the dam. The dam is an unnatural structure, and it takes enormous amounts of energy to hold that dam up, to to hold that unnatural structure up. But when you let it fall, and the waters come to, and the natural forces come back to balance, yes, there will be destruction. Yes, there will be villages that go under. Yes, there will be crops that will be destroyed. But you know what? Things will be restored to balance. And we were discussing personal apocalypse. You know, it doesn't have to come to that. When you have awareness, you have a choice. Suffering is but one portal through which you can walk. You can go through the door of suffering if this is absolutely what you require to bring about your change. But, you know, if you can deal with the universe. The universe is look, this is what I do in my life. You know, I require ease and grace. And my deal with the universe was, all right, I get it. Things are going to be...
hey, Michelle, they say you're echoing. Hey, sweetie, is your volume up too high? They say you're echoing.
No, my volume is completely off. Completely off. I'm sorry for the echo. I must be speaking some truth here, Peter.
Yeah. Yeah, I said it was hackers to Jose. He was trying to tell me to fix it, but we always call in on the same phone every day when we do this show. So, yeah, it's all good. Anyways, folks, with that said, anyways, if you haven't come over to privatist.me, anybody dealing with third-party bottom feeders and you really want to get rid of them, come on over to my house and we'll show you how. If you're not interested, stand fast and they'll be glad to rape your estate for you. It's really that simple. Because I'm not going to beat the brakes off on this issue. It's been posted. Go watch the 12-minute video. It's posted pretty much everywhere on Blog Talk US. It's on our cover page. If you don't like the pain, if you don't like the... First of all, folks, it's just a proverbial lie. Anyway, so I'm not going to rant any further on this tonight. I was really just... it was a great show.
You had a few good ones, though, Peter. Those were good. I liked them.
Yeah. Sometimes I do. Anyways, no more diversions tonight. Jose, I'm getting off the damn phone. It's all good. Anyways, hey, folks, ain't nothing but a thing. It's all good. We're here and now, and we're moving forward. And folks, if you like what you heard tonight, or if you don't, then whatever. It's all good. I invite you back Saturday night because we're gonna move this train forward on a whole different level. Anyways, we love sharing the love. We're glad you're here.
Saturday it's 5 to 7.
Right, 5 to 7 on Saturday, not 7 to 9. And we'll bring you around whatever. Anyways, we love you. We thank you for being here, and thank you for joining in the spirit of things because, hey, this is about getting your heart, mind, and spirit right, folks. You're in the right place. Have a great night. And, Johnny, thank you for coming back tonight. I'll see you on Saturday. Folks, we'll catch you on the rebound. Have a great one. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thanks. Good night.